Extremely Forward is brought to you by PeterVanderWaltShop.com, the official online store. Send your questions for Peter, comments, suggestions, praise, and tributes to connect@extremelyforward.com. Extremely Forward is brought to you by PeterVanderWaltShop.com, the official online store. Send your questions for Peter, comments, suggestions, praise, and tributes to connect@extremelyforward.com. That's CONNECT@extremelyforward.com. Extremely Forward is brought to you by PeterVanderWaltShop.com, the official online store. Send your questions for Peter, comments, suggestions, praise, and tributes to connect@extremelyforward.com. Extremely Forward is brought to you by PeterVanderWaltShop.com, the official online store. Send your questions for Peter, comments, suggestions, praise, and tributes to connect@extremelyforward.com. That's CONNECT@extremelyforward.com.
Welcome back to Extremely Forward. Happy birthday, America, for the 4th of July. If this is your first time tuning into the Extremely Forward show, you are very welcome. This is episode 201, but you won't find the first season, probably because we're hiding it for legal reasons. I probably should explain what we're doing here on the Extremely Forward show. First of all, this show is for my mama. Believe it or not, there's a small handful of people who live very far away and care about me, and they never get to hear my voice. So one of the big reasons I do the show is so that people who care about me can hear my beautiful speaking voice. Also, any hardcore readers, viewers, audiences, and fans, they want to be kept up to date on all the things that are happening in terms of the pipeline of production of stories that we're writing and directing for them. So I'd like to keep them up to date and answer any questions they might have. We have a special question email here that we answer, and we're going to be answering two of the first questions today. It's also a bit about storytelling, horror, and science fiction specifically, although we cover everything. It's not a how-to, it's not educational, it's more of a chat. So we'll be talking about all kinds of things. Storytelling, cool books out there, cool movies out there, anything we find that's kind of nice. Also a little bit of adventures and road trips here in the southwest of England, some of the things that's happening around here, cool family recipes. We're going to be sharing some awesome music as well. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I like me some Western and country music, but we're going to be listening to all kinds of music. There'll be Greek music and Spanish music and Hebrew music and all kinds of cool music. We're promised not to turn this into a trash Eurovision style Europop trash kind of things. It'll be good music. We're going to err on the side of country and have a lot of that, but there's going to be hippity hop and rippity rap and all kinds of other tunes as well. And then it's kind of like Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing. But then there is this public service aspect to it that's brand new. It is because I've been observing with some envy all the many writers and filmmakers that are activists. I'm seeing a lot of activist entertainers out there. They tell you how to vote. They tell you what you should care about. They tell you what you're allowed to say. And I figure, I've always had opinions of my own, but I've kept them private or kept them to my private life because I didn't think that being an entertainer or making up fictions qualifies me to have strong opinions on the news. But seeing that everybody else is so incessantly activist, I figured I might as well get on and become an activist myself and give you my strong, unsolicited opinions about things. It's just too hard for me to do because I can't take myself seriously enough to do that. So to substitute for that, what we're going to be doing is saving you from one of the big pain points in your life. And it's this thing called the news. It goes around and it pretends to be journalism, although we all know that journalism is dead and buried. It kind of intrudes into your life because it believes in its own importance, and it says that this is important. It's more important than your movie. We interrupt a broadcast to bring you this news, and you're going to see all these talking heads who have predictable, paid-for opinions about things that happened in that week. And invariably, it's going to drive you crazy, and it's going to make you angry. And by the time you get to the office, you're going to be traumatized. So instead of indulging in that drug and getting your dopamine hits and your outrage porn that way, what I'm going to be doing once a week is the Extremely Forward Global News.
The Extremely Forward Global News.
And what we're going to do there is give you the news without the fluff. It's extremely forward, and we're just going to give you that week's news quick and easy, get that out of the way, and then we can get on to the better things in life.
Here's what it's up in the world with politics and news that you really want to get from people who are supposed to entertain but spend the time to posture, perform, lecture, and complain.
Great, so our inaugural episode this week confirmed that governments remain spectacularly efficient at one thing: holding press conferences after reality has already happened. In America, Donald Trump spent the week polishing the Iran peace deal that followed months of bombs, brinkmanship, and billion-dollar anxiety attacks. Oil markets calmed, the Strait of Hormuz stayed open, and the apocalypse was quietly postponed until further notice. Funny how the same foreign policy establishment that insisted catastrophe was inevitable is now congratulating itself because catastrophe was mostly avoided. It's kind of like an arsonist accepting an award for fire prevention. The Democrats, when they're not electing communists or praising algae, meanwhile, continue treating every single political disagreement as if it's an existential crisis. for democracy. Republicans continue treating every government department as an existential crisis for taxpayers, so I guess one message fits on a bumper sticker and the other needs a university seminar. In Britain, meantime, the Labour Party continued resembling a company that already announced redundancies but is still insisting that morale has never been higher. Essentially, they reassured voters that they'll keep fucking up, only faster. With Keir Starmer gone, Westminster became an especially frantic game of musical chairs with everyone pretending they already knew the ending all along. Reform kept climbing in the polls because millions of voters have stopped asking for perfection and started settling for anyone who sounds like they actually notice that the country exists. Meantime, Britain had another heat wave, and every summer now follows the same script. Politicians promise resilience, railways promise disruption, and broadcasters discover that hot weather is, astonishingly, hot. Around the world, Ukraine's war ground on with grim predictability. Western leaders produced another crop of communications, condemnations, and carefully choreographed family photos. Russia remained unimpressed. Paper statements continued bouncing harmlessly off tanks. Iran, meantime, buried its supreme leader, while diplomats kept trying to turn a fragile ceasefire into something more permanent. The world's energy markets behaved like ADHD squirrels, jumping at every rumor before settling down again. So the scorecard reads, America made peace after making noise. Britain changed leaders without changing anything at all. Europe melted, Ukraine endured, and the commentariat declared everything historic for the 14th consecutive week. The only thing moving faster than the news cycle is the media's ability to forget last week's certainty and replace it with this week's certainty. And it's equally confident, equally colorful, and equally disposable. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the inaugural Extremely Forward newscast. I'll update you on everything that happens in the coming week on next week's show, I promise, so you can avoid all that crap and get back to the business of living. Trust me, it's worth it. More important than all this is a rant I'd like to go on. And I'm hoping not to do too many long rants, but this is something that's very important. It's something I've noticed in horror movies, and it's something I absolutely hate. And it's this trope. You know, if you do it in one or two movies, you can cope with it. But once you start doing it in a number of movies, and it becomes impossible to ignore, and you see it over and over, then it just, you know what, I need to point this out. And it's this thing where a character starts losing their minds, right? It's all about their realities disintegrating. And the way that all the horror movies are handling this is by creating this rapid succession of dreams where the character wakes up and then it was just a dream, and then they wake up again and it's a dream, and then wake up it's again, and again it was a dream. It's like just waking up into terrible realities, but it's just, you know, it was all a nightmare. It's the oldest stupid trope in the book, and for some reason it's okay if you string a whole bunch of them together now. Don't do this. There are more creative, much more interesting ways to show that a character's mind is deteriorating or reality is disintegrating or whatever. So with that, it's time for our first break.
From a headline and a screen, try to paint my whole life in a shade of in between. But I learned who I am and the bruises and the rain, and the hands that build me strong, and the love that
At home, on the road, or on the go, this is your home for Smooth Tunes. Smooth Talk, a general appreciation for washboard apps, and exceptional taste in music and fine food. It's W-A-L-T, W-A-L-T, the best choice for you and me.
Cool, just a quick update on all the things we're working on. It's pretty much all Chronicles of Ob that I'm writing at the moment. That's the bit that's happening. We did release the trailer and the cover art for Chronicles of Ob in this week. We also have Majesty, which is still struggling to get stock because the first print run was sold out. Thank you to all the greatest readers in the world. We now need to very quickly get stock in. That's not as easy as it sounds. But if you are one of the first buyers, you will notice that we've made those 5 downloads that you get with your copy of Majesty. We've made those available now. So in the meantime, if you can't read Majesty, you can start by reading the 5 bonus material downloads that comes with your copy until such time as we have new stock. And there's a lot in the pipeline. The road shows will commence again in August. For those of you that don't know, the road shows is petervanderwaltshop.com. This is my official online store. This goes around the country and gets to meet the people in person and get to talk to fans directly, and it's quite wonderful. So in August, we'll restart those. And every episode, I'll update you on the things I'm busy with in that particular week and what progress was made and, of course, what you can expect and when. And what's next there, Brian?
We have some audience questions here.
Ah, fun. Fire away. I'm ready.
It's time for audience questions, where the world's best readers and viewers tell Pete what they want to know.
Cindy in Michigan wants to know, what is the correct way to pronounce your surname?
Cindy, thank you very much. That is very kind of you to care about how to pronounce things. I guess, you can say it any way you want to say it. I'm not one of these purists that insists on people calling things croissant when they're, if you're speaking Russian or English, and then suddenly you croissant in the middle of it, I think that's just silly. The correct way to say it is the way you say it. Whatever way you want to pronounce it is good by me. I don't particularly care. You can call me Baby Nuts, Floofy Bunny, Schnuggums Woogums. As long as you buy my books and watch my movies, I'm pretty happy. But thank you. The original way to say it has nothing to do with the price of eggs. I mean, there's 4 million people that speak the original way that the language was, that the surname was birthed in. And there's like 250 million people that say it differently. So who's correct, Growing up, it was pronounced Thunderbolt. But, I've heard all kinds of variations of that. Fox News called me Voldemort once. I hear a lot of English speakers say Vanderwalt, which makes sense. Vander is like Vanderbilt University or Vander, they've been around some Vanders. And Walt is like Walt Disney, so that makes a lot of sense to me. So a lot of English speakers say Vanderwalt, and I'm kind of happy with that. But whatever way you want to say it, you can go for it.
Anonymous asks, how accurate is the S&P 500, given that it gains the rules by excluding IPOs?
Ooh, yeah, that's, I know who that is. That's my old life catching up with me. So first of all, I suppose I need to put small print and disclosures in place. And that is this, that you shouldn't take your investment advice from a podcast. And if you do take your investment advice from podcasts, then you should send me all your money in the mail. If you're going to get advice for investing, it's usually worth what you pay for it. And I would never go with one set of advice. I'll always have 10 different people giving me advice and then making up my own mind as we go along. So for what it's worth, bear that in mind. I think this question is asked because of the Tesla launch, which is the biggest IPO, initial public offering in history. It's the thing that made Elon Musk a trillionaire. I don't know if he's one at the moment because the price probably plunged. I haven't been keeping a big eye on it, but eventually he'll return to that status because of this. because of this going public. I don't like IPOs. It's too choppy, the waters for me. It's too violent. There's too many players suddenly piling in, and there's too much greed on display. And the institutions are all pumping and dumping, and the analysts are all, either too cynical or too political or too positive. And the reality is that 60% of companies suffer a decline in their share price within 3 years of launching on the stock exchange. 60% of companies, right? And then 60% of buyers, if you buy at the closing price of the first day, you would lose money if I see you 3 years later or 5 years later. And this is true for pretty much any IPO. I mean, it happened to Facebook and Meta or whatever. Anyone who launches, the waters are too bloody, it's too exuberant, there's too much hubris, it's too much pullback, it's too much chaos, and it's crazy. Now, the S&P 500 doesn't game the rules. It just has rules of its own. The S&P, if you don't know, that's the 500 biggest shares on the U.S. stock market, except it wouldn't include Tesla, which at the moment is probably the biggest shares. But there's a couple of eligibility criteria that the S&P has that qualifies you to get on them. So it's not just any company that's the biggest gets to be on the S&P. There's a whole bunch of rules and regulations. But the two I'm most interested in is that you must have been trading for 12 months to be on the S&P. So between IPO and being included on the index, there's at least a year. And then you must have been profitable for at least 4 consecutive quarters. So 4 quarters is also a year. So what that means is at a minimum, you must be trading for a year, and you must be profitable for a year before you can get on the S&P. That's why I like the S&P. It's boring. I don't like the IPOs because that's too crazy for me. I like putting money in the S&P 500. It's the 500 biggest firms in the world. You probably know them. You've probably heard their name. If the S&P as a collective goes down permanently, then you're not going to worry about your investments. You're going to worry about guns and ammo. So the way I see it, it's not the S&P gaming the rules by excluding the IPOs. It's that there are rules about when an IPO gets to be on the S&P 500. Tesla will eventually be there. I like Tesla. I like the company. I just don't like the IPOs and the gyrations of the share price. So that's why I'm not in on it for the IPO and on there later. And this is not why people tune in to hear me drone on about finance, but hey, you ask the question and I'll answer any question you send this way, and I'll try to do that as honestly as I can. Now, to change the topic completely, I have discovered an author that I can't believe I never knew of him before. It's absolutely delightful. I saw him on a podcast and I immediately went out and bought 3 of his books. And the first one I've been reading, and it's been an utter delight. His name is Mark Forsyth, and he wrote a book called The Elements of Eloquence, which is a introduction, I suppose I can call it, or a revisitation for those people who are smart enough and lucky enough to have been educated in it, of rhetoric. Rhetoric being that old Greek and Latin thing of convincing people. And it's the instruments of rhetoric. It's the kind of speech patterns like James Bond, or a horse, my kingdom for a horse. It's those kinds of little rhetorical devices that's used to help make writing eloquent or help convince people or create beautiful poetry or whatever. It's been an absolutely delightful read. If you are a writer, if you're an aspiring author, or you're a copywriter or anything like that, I would highly recommend Mark Forsyth's The Elements of Eloquence. It is such an awesome book. Not only does he teach you all these incredibly useful little formulae, but he tells the most interesting stories. So it's trivia about the English language that you didn't know before, or just the way he tells them is so entertaining that it's really fun. I'm really looking forward to reading his other books as well, but so far I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Mark Forsyth, where have you been all my life? It really is a fun, delightful read. If you like English, if you like the language, it's one I can recommend heartily. And now that we've given one recommendation, I suppose it's time for the show review.
If there's a show we want to know, should we go or was it a no-no?
We have to talk about the Disclosure Day, the film by Steven Spielberg. We went to go see that. There was no horror movie showing, so we went to see Disclosure Day. And it's an interesting one because my partner has a completely different reaction to it than I did. So for him, it was the wonder of Spielberg. It was that whole wonder aspect that you had in the early movies like E.T. or Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It was that whole reintroducing the sense of marvel and awe in movies, and he kind of liked that. But for me, it didn't quite work. I see where Spielberg was going, but I don't know. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. I wonder what you thought. Did you like the show? Did you not like the show? You can comment if there's any space to comment. If it's on some platform that allows comments, then I'm curious what everyone thought. I didn't mind it. It was a fun movie. It was entertaining, but it wasn't particularly awe-inspiring, and I just feel that it's almost a naive way of looking at aliens. Maybe I spend too much time thinking about these things for my books and whatever. I don't know. So, with that in the bag, let's take another break. It's time for,
No. Te vi llegar y se me fue la voz. Traías en la cara mi mejor canción. En tu risa cabía toda mi razón, y en un solo abrazo me tembló el corazón. Y aunque trate de ocultarlo, se me nota en la piel. Cuando dices mi nombre, todo vuelve a caer. Solo Dios sabe cuánto te amo. Solo Dios sabe cómo te extraño. God only knows how much I love you. Y yo me quedo aquí. Solo Dios sabe cuánto te sueño. Solo Dios sabe lo que yo siento. God only knows how much I love you. Cuando no estás aquí. Dejaste en mi cuarto tu perfume y tu adiós, un vaso a medio suelo y un beso de cartón. Yo juro que me hago el fuerte frente al sol, pero al ver tu nombre se me rompe la voz. Y aunque digan que me calle, que se me va a pasar, yo te cargo en la sangre, no te puedo borrar. Solo Dios sabe cuánto te amo. Solo Dios sabe cómo te extraño. God only knows how much I love you. Y yo me quedo aquí. Solo Dios sabe cuánto te sueño. Solo Dios sabe lo que yo siento. God only knows how much I love you. Cuando no estás aquí, me faltan días, me sobra el dolor. Si regresas yo te guardo la puerta y el sol. Dime si aún te nace volver a empezar, que mi alma no aprende a dejarte de amar. Solo Dios sabe cuánto te amo, solo Dios sabe cómo te extraño. God only knows how much I love you. Y yo me quedo aquí. Solo Dios sabe cuánto te sueño, solo Dios sabe lo que yo siento. God only knows how much I love you. Para vivir en ti, yeah.
Finally, yeah, it's summer over here still. So we're heading for the beach this weekend. And there's a lot of beaches around here in the southwest of England. Lots of nice sandy beaches. We can go to Lewes, just across the border into Cornwall. And it's got a lovely beach there. We can go to Exmouth, which is the other way. Exmouth is a lovely town. It's got this long sandy beach going all the way around it. And the town center is always one of my favorites. It always reminds me of the town center in Back to the Future. It's got that kind of vibe. Exmouth has lovely beaches. We can also go to a place like Dawlish Warren and walk along the sea all the way back to Dawlish and get us one of those lovely treats at Gay's Creamery. Or we could take a trip through the South Hams to the light blue waters of Selcombe. There's really something nice going on over there. But I think this weekend we'll be heading to Newquay, which is the surfing capital of England. We're going to go up North Devon, we're going to go to Newquay, and we're going to watch if we can see some boys strutting their stuff on their surfboards. That's going to be a fun watch with the binoculars. Not creepy at all. But that's pretty much what we'll be doing as an adventure this week. There's always a lot happening in summer around Devon and Cornwall and the southwest generally. But yeah, it's definitely time to enjoy most of the sunny weather and the heat. And yeah, what's better than watching some surfers and getting some beach time in? So we're looking very forward to that. And that's pretty much that for this first episode, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'll tell you, the key to happiness are low expectations. I mean, I don't know what else you expected. I'm not going to strip or dance. I think it was okay. I mean, hell, and it was free. So don't know what else you want. A reminder that you can get this podcast on Spotify, the podcast platform, where audio only makes a lot of sense. You can also get it on YouTube, even though it's just an audio podcast. But I have a face for radio, so you can thank your lucky stars. You don't have to look at this mug. And we are on Rumble, just in case the commies want to cancel us. Reminder that you can get in touch with your questions at connect@extremelyforward.com. The road shows will start up again in August, as I said. Then the next episode will be on Monday, the 13th of July. We'll be talking about the next big thing. Thank you so much for listening. Eat your vegetables, don't pull your sister's hair, and until next week.
From a headline and a screen, try to paint my whole life in a shade of in between. But I learned who I am in the bruises and the rain, in the hands that built me strong, in the love that took the pain. So I stand a little taller when they try to pull me down. Got my feet on solid ground when the noise getting